You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Heavy downpours are causing flash flood watches across the Keystone State. And as you probably noticed, the rain was heavy today at times and is expected to continue late into the evening. Some parts of the region will even see gusty winds and thunderstorms. Rainfall totals are expected to range from 1.5 to 3 inches, with higher amounts of 4 to 5 inches possibly in the Poconos. As always, motorists are advised to stay away from flooded roadways. Just a few inches of water can cause vehicles to become stranded or, worse yet, swept away. Residents are also reminded to keep an eye on their basements in order to prevent any water damage to their homes. Around $1 million worth of drugs were seized yesterday during a Luzerne County drug sweep. It's being called one of the largest drug busts in the history of Wilkes-Barre. Numerous law enforcement agencies were involved in the sweep of 4 area locations, following an 8-month-long investigation into drug trafficking. Federal search warrants were executed in relation to the Montes de Oca drug trafficking organization. As a result, 27-year-old Alan Kevin Robles Montes de Oca and 36-year-old Jonathan Orlando Fontanez were taken into custody for their alleged involvement. Drug agents seized massive amounts of cocaine and fentanyl with a street value of over $1 million. $100,000 in cash and handguns were also confiscated during Wednesday's drug bust in Wilkes-Barre. The Tamaqua Area School Board voted yesterday to reverse their decision about allowing optional masking in schools. Board members voted 6-3 to reverse the decision, which now makes it mandatory to wear face coverings in the classroom. The board's original decision to allow for parental choice on masking went against the state's mask mandate. Board President Larry Wittig said the district received a letter from the Secretary of Education warning of potential lawsuits the district could have faced for violating the state's mandate. Anyone who wants to be exempted from the mask mandate must complete a form by October 1st. A tractor-trailer caused a traffic nightmare earlier this morning along Interstate 80. According to police, 2 trucks collided just before 2:30 this morning near mile marker 251 in Sugarloaf Township, causing one to roll over. Crews worked to clear the scene that included a diesel fuel spill. Fortunately, no injuries were reported in that early morning crash in Luzerne County. The FDA authorized emergency use for a 3rd dose of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine on Wednesday. The shots were approved for people 65 and older, and individuals who are 18 and older with a high risk of exposure to the virus. Before the shots can be administered to eligible people, however, the CDC Advisory Committee of Immunization Practices must provide a recommendation. The advisory group began its 2-day meeting yesterday on the safety and effectiveness of Pfizer's booster shot and is expected to vote sometime today on who would qualify for 3rd doses. Moderna also submitted data to the FDA about its booster shots, and Johnson & Johnson is soon expected to follow suit. Police in Hazleton are searching for a suspect that allegedly stole thousands of dollars of electronics from an area business. Surveillance footage showed a man entering the Sanctuary Stunt Studio on Wyoming Street last week. The suspect then allegedly disabled the cameras before stealing electronics belonging to a terminally ill member. Police are currently investigating that robbery incident in Hazleton. A Frackville man's locked up for allegedly having a sexual relationship with a juvenile that began back in May. A juvenile female told state police back on September 5th that she engaged in a sexual relationship with 52-year-old Christopher Schultz. She claimed the sexual acts took place multiple times at 2 different locations and provided text messages to corroborate her statement. Police later executed a search warrant at Schultz's residence and seized numerous items before taking him into custody September 10th. Schultz was arraigned on multiple charges of statutory sexual assault aggravated indecent assault, corruption of minors, criminal use of a communication facility, and endangering the welfare of children. He's now locked up in Schuylkill County Prison on $50,000 straight cash bail. Pennsylvania's First Lady Frances Wolf, alongside DCED, celebrated the Keystone State's rich food history and heritage with the launch of 4 new culinary trails. And our Philip Kaufman has the details.
Picked, baked, chopped, and pickled. Those are the themes of the 4 new culinary trails that you can follow throughout Pennsylvania.
When we welcome visitors in Pennsylvania, we want them to have that same sense of home that we do. And that means sharing with them these foods that are integral to our lives. The Pennsylvania Tourism Office worked with Chatham University's Center for Regional Agriculture, Food, and Transformation to develop 4 culinary trails that represent the history and heritage of Pennsylvania.
So what are the new trails?
These 4 trails are baked. A bread trail, which takes you to not just fresh baked bread, but to pretzels and pizza and pierogies and pot pies. Picked, an apple trail, which takes you to ciders, apple pie, and the orchards where the apples are fresh picked. Chopped, a charcuterie trail, which celebrates meats in all forms, from traditional meat markets to deer bologna, sopressata, and beyond. And pickled, a fermented trail, which honors Pennsylvania's love of pickling and fermenting foods. Everything from root beer, kombucha, and kefir to sauerkraut, pickled vegetables, and of course, our beloved red beet eggs.
Each trail has 4 to 5 clusters, separated by region, to be completed over a 2 to 4 day road trip, with a diverse offering of local bakeries, restaurants, wineries, cideries, and other food shops, as well as historically significant locations such as museums, to give travelers a sense of the history of different crops, recipes, and food preparation techniques.
It's quite obvious that here in Pennsylvania, we are so lucky to have such a diverse citizenry as we do. I would like to invite everyone who comes to visit Pennsylvania, everyone who lives in Pennsylvania, to come and break bread with us and to visit each of these sites and to learn the dishes and learn about the people who make the dishes. Learn how they how they have come to our state. Learn how they've come to make our state richer, more interesting, more fun.
For more information, go to the Visit PA website, sign up for the Happy Thoughts newsletter, or follow Visit PA on their social media pages.
Through the food that we share, we commune and we learn. And the story that each of these cuisines, each of these people share, become ultimately each of our stories, the story of Pennsylvania.
So get out there on one of those trails, bring your friends for a visit, and experience the culinary culture and creativity of Pennsylvanians. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. Coming up on WYLN News, a night under the stars with Hazleton Police and celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Plus, a look ahead into the weekend sports lineup. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Cloudy and rainy, and tomorrow probably will be drizzly.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. It's high school football time. Watch WYLN for all the local high school football action as we bring you the event, not just the highlights, like only WYLN can. The Game of the Week on WYLN TV is sponsored by Lehigh Valley Health Network, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner. For the best in local sports, watch WYLN TV 35, the event, not just the highlights.
Hey guys, Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton Used Car Superstore. That's right. We've got a huge selection. We have over 2,000 used cars on the web, and we have over 200 on site here in Hazleton. Whether you're looking for a pre-owned Denali truck, a Chevy Silverado, a Corvette, a BMW, we have a huge selection here at Blaze Alexander. If you're looking for a good pre-owned car, we're getting them in by the truckloads. So if you're in the market and you want a choice, come to Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton and see where we have the cars and take the deals the other guys won't.
We Are Hazleton is holding a night under the stars with Hazleton Police to celebrate its 150 years of service on Saturday, October 9th at City View Park. It'll be business casual attire, and proceeds will be used for updating HPD equipment such as firearms nearing their lifespan. Tickets are $165 per person and include an open bar, hors d'oeuvres, an unlimited dinner buffet, dessert bar, and a performance by award-winning Philadelphia band Carnival. Sponsorship options are also available with many incentives, and those who can't make it out have the option to sponsor a cop with a $50 donation as well. Supporters and businesses interested in tickets or sponsoring can call Allison Barletta at 570-233-6022 or Lauren Sacco at 570-579-8500 by October 1st. All are joyfully invited to celebrate the cultural richness and special gifts that Hispanics bring to the Diocese of Scranton as Hispanic Heritage Month rolls on. Bishop Joseph Bambera will be holding a pontifical mass in Spanish at 6:30 p.m. this Saturday, September 25th at the Cathedral of St. Peter in Scranton. The observation originated from Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson back in 1968 and was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period before being enacted into law on August 17th of that same year. Now, Hispanic Heritage Month is observed nationally from September 15th through October 15th to honor the history, culture, and influence of past generations who came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and both Central and South America. Our WYLN sports crew is gearing up to bring you game number 5 of the 2021 high school football season. We kick off with some live Bulldog Millionaires action tomorrow night when we travel to Crispin Field for the Berwick-Williamsport matchup. Tune in for your Friday Night Fill of Marty Burns, Joe DeMelfi, and our WYLN sports crew, bringing you the event, not just the highlights. Sponsored by Lehigh Valley Health Network, your orthopedics and sports medicine partner. No plans tomorrow night? No problem. Got some? Well, cancel them. Instead, tune in for your weekly dose of Friday Night Football and all the live local action right here on WYLN TV. WYLN's all-time OT hero, Marty Burns, has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. So, let's talk sports.
Welcome to Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Blaze Alexander Family Dealership Hazleton. Never too early to look ahead to the weekend on this Thursday, and we're going to start with college football. A couple of games at neutral sites, starting at Soldier Field in Chicago, number 18 Wisconsin, number 12 Notre Dame. The Irish coming off another victory, a little sluggish to start, but I think they finished much stronger than they did the last couple weeks. Coming up with the win against Purdue and Wisconsin, they need this game. They can't afford 2 losses in September. A very interesting game in the Southeastern Conference in Jerry's World in Dallas. Number 7 Texas A&M and number 16 Arkansas. We mentioned how Texas A&M thinks that they can make a run here in the SEC. And Arkansas, a very interesting team in the SEC, as we mentioned, ranked 16. Are they for real? We'll find out. Maybe an answer comes Saturday. Clemson has struggled. They've dropped all the way to being 9th in the nation, and they got a tough road test at NC State. Can they get that offense together? If not, the Wolfpack may be able to pull off the upset. And then in the NFL, Chargers, Chiefs, big game in the AFC West. One of those teams is going to be 1-2 at the end of the day. Seahawks at the Vikings. Vikings 0-2. It doesn't get much easier with an angry Seattle team coming into town. Maybe the game of the weekend, Tampa Bay heading to Los Angeles to take on the Rams, both 2-0. We'll see how that game turns out in the City of Angels. And two of our locals, Bengals, are in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Again, another situation where one of those teams will be 1-2. And the Falcons head to the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. Giants looking for their first win. We'll wrap it up with baseball. Tomorrow night, big 3-game set for the Yankees as they head to Boston. And could the Yankees' playoff hopes be fading, or could the Red Sox officially close the Yankees out of the postseason? We'll see how this weekend plays out.
Coming up on Hughesville's News Choice, we meet the pups at the Carbon County Animal Shelter and Community in U. Plus, leading the way, part 4. Stay with us.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton, has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super, man. 570-497-4150.
Imagine how inconvenient your life would be without power. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with a Generac home standby generator, you will have power when you need it most. Generac generators automatically provide backup power after sensing a power outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted.
The Wire Guys, 1338 North Church Street, Hazel Township, 570-459-3345, and visit us at homewireguys.com.
Two Italian Guys Pizzeria. 3 West Diamond Avenue in Hazleton has all your favorites, from pizza, hoagies, salads, entrees, wings, and sides. Always made with the freshest ingredients. Call them at 570-459-2783. Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
If you've been thinking about adopting a dog, then you may want to check out the Carbon County Animal Shelter in Esquihone, where many lovable pups await your visit. So, let's get ready to meet this week's featured dogs. First up is Bailey, who will soon be available for adoption. This cutie pie was found as a stray, and so far no owner has been in to claim her. Once she visits the vet, the shelter will have more information about her. Another baby was found on Route 93 near Beaver Meadows about a week ago, and will soon be looking for her forever home as well. Little girl Clover is also a new arrival at the shelter. She was found back on September 10th tied to a sign in the State Game Lands parking lot on Route 903 in Lake Harmony. The pup was found without food and water and was brought to the shelter thanks to the Kidder Township Police Department. She is slowly adjusting to shelter life and loves to go for walks. Milo was brought into the shelter back in August by a person who was no longer able to take care of him. He had to be treated for fleas and is all better now, and employees eventually earned this little guy's trust. They found out that Milo's more than just a hound dog. He's a real sweetheart. Dedicated volunteers and staff have been working with Big Boy Midnight. He's a great dog that needs someone willing to show him some love and patience. He's a very active young boy who loves to play ball and would play all day if he had the chance. Muggsy was found back on August 17th in Jim Thorpe. He had a muzzle on and somehow got himself tangled in a barbed wire fence, but fortunately was freed by a group of concerned neighbors. He's now safe and sound at the shelter and is learning to trust again while he awaits his forever family. Little Sammy is around 11 months old, spayed and up to date on her shots. She's been calling the shelter home for a couple of months now, but would sure like to get the chance to worm her way into someone's heart. She walks well on a leash and is a bit shy at first, but is very sweet and likes to play with her toys and definitely loves her treats. Mac has been patiently waiting for nearly 2 years for someone to choose him. This lovable guy would do best in a home with no young children. And if this adorable face catches your attention, be sure to give the shelter a call to set up an appointment to come in and meet Mac. Up next is Hershey, aka Hershey Bear. She's also waiting for that special human or family to come in. She's a loving dog with a sweet disposition who just needs someone to come in and take the time to get to know her, as does Silk. Silk has been at the shelter since July of 2020 and wants nothing more than a little TLC and a loving home. She'd do best as the only dog in the house and would probably prefer a quieter environment with a smaller family. In many cases, dogs end up at the shelter as a result of being lost, especially in the fairer weather months. Director Tom Connors has some advice for dog owners on how to keep your companion safe and how to make it easier to find your four-legged friend if he or she gets separated from you.
The biggest thing pet owners can do is to keep an eye on their pets. If you have a dog, keep an eye on it. Don't let it get out. There's thousands of people that have dogs, and their dogs don't go running free. Sometimes good dogs, good people, dogs get out. It does happen. Accidents happen. Dogs do slip out the door or get out the gate. Somebody forgot to lock. If you lose your dog, you should call the police or the nearest shelter and let them know. Give a description of your dog. Let them know what the dog's name is. Give a couple contact numbers so people could call you or call a neighbor should somebody find the dog. But you need to start looking immediately as soon as it's lost. And the law requires that you have a license on your dog in Pennsylvania. Sometimes that law is overlooked when a dog is loose. That's fine. I have no issue with that. We want to get the dog home as soon as possible. So the best thing for your dog is a tag with the dog's name on it and your number, because that's really what's going to get it home right away. By calling your dog by its name that it knows, it feels a little more secure, and by having your phone number, we're able to reach you right away and then get your dog back home to you. So that's the best thing. If you don't have a tag, take a magic marker and write your phone number on the collar, because then when someone grabs your dog, then keep it safe, they have the number there.
For more information and updates, be sure to check out the Carbon County Animal Shelter's Facebook page or call them at 570-325-4828.
Tri-County has been keeping your office up to speed since 1969. Everything your office needs: office supplies, personal and custom business forms, business cards, office furniture, new and used office equipment, copy, print, and scan solutions with wide format capabilities. Leasing is also available, free off-street parking, and free local delivery. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, 570-459-0754. Family owned and operated since 1969.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Pause for a Cause for Autism, Sunday, October 3rd at the Whitetail Preserve. Come jog with your dog. All vendors are welcome. $25 a table. Please contact the Safe Office at safeoffice@autismsafe.com. It's the Pause for a Cause for Autism, Sunday, October 3rd.
Hi everybody. Tune in to Let's Talk Chiropractic this week. Betty Noggle came up all the way from behind to tell her story, how she's 90 and gentle chiropractic is still safe for her, so tune in.
Wyln's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Rocco Patron's leading the way into part 4 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Rocco Patron. So, what are some of the biggest accomplishments and some of the biggest challenges you've faced, whether it be, personally, whether it be as the principal or the head coach or just a teacher, what have you experienced?
Well, I hope I'm successful first as a husband and father. I have 3 great children. One's an educator in Milton. My daughter Marissa teaches in Milton special education. My son's a chiropractor in Florida, and my youngest daughter Dominique, AJ's my son, Dominique is in dental school, or 3rd year in dental school at Temple. So I hope I'm successful as a family person first. As far as my educational career is concerned, I know people are going to remember football. We were very fortunate in 10 years to have a great record, 5 championships, and I hope that I'm remembered as a good coach, not necessarily just about W's and L's, but just there as a role model for my players and great relationships with them. And of course, I hope I left Hazelton Area High School a better place after being principal there for 12 years. And I don't think about specific individual cases. I just think about overall inspiring, being a role model, and just remembered as someone that did whatever I could possibly do to make students' lives better. And if I'm remembered that way, that's a pretty successful. That's a pretty successful day and a pretty successful life.
And with and hate to go into, but like with a school as large as Hazelton, there's obviously challenges that come with that. And could you explain a little bit about some of those?
I will tell you this. Yeah. When you run a school with like Hazelton Area High School, there's 3,500, well, between 3,200 and 3,500 9th through 12th grade.
Yeah.
If you try to do everything yourself, you're not going to be successful. So the most successful leaders are those that count on the people around them. And I'm so lucky, so fortunate. I had great assistant principals, great teachers, and then the support staff. Whether you're talking about secretaries, you're talking about paraprofessionals, maintenance, security, it takes everybody, all stakeholders, to run a successful building like that. So you need to count on those people. You need to, at times, expect them to do their job, but if they see you working really hard, being the first one there, one of the last ones to leave, going to all these extracurricular events, then they're going to want to work hard. Yeah. If you can get people to want to work hard, then you're doing your job. Yeah. And you do that through leading by example.
It's the kind of the metaphor that it takes a village. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as Rocco continues leading the way into part 5 of this week's final segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.